Ladies and gentlemen, I am Airman First Class Jacqueline Jones, and I will be the narrator for today's ceremony. On behalf of the Commander, 60th Mobility Wing, Colonel Jeffrey Nelson, and the men and women of the 60th Medical Group, welcome to today's official change of command ceremony, in which the reins and responsibility and leadership will pass from Colonel Kristen Bills to Colonel Gwendolyn Foster. Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem. We also invite you to remain standing for the invocation by Chaplain Leatherman.
Please pray with me. Father God, we pause this beautiful morning to thank you for a beautiful day in which to share this event. Lord, we thank you for the leadership of Colonel Kristen Beals. We also thank you for her husband, Michael Eppinger, who has supported her all along the way. Father, thank you for the way that they have served faithfully and honorably through challenging times, such as bringing on Genesis, and now more recently with the challenges of COVID-19. During this time, Colonel Beals has not wavered in her care for the caregivers of DGMC and the 60th Air Mobility Wing. And it is my prayer, Father, that both Colonel Beals and Mr. Eppinger would both feel today the love and gratitude for the grateful hearts that are here today that wish to say farewell and Godspeed. And now, I ask your blessing on Colonel Gwendolyn Foster as she picks up the mantle of leadership for DGMC. Give her clear vision for the way ahead, wisdom and discernment, and a heart of compassion for the men and women who serve and sacrifice daily by her side. Bless her husband, Mr. Robert Foster, their sons Rowan and Jonathan, daughters Jenna and Alicia as they make their home with us. Ease their transition here and make this home a refuge, a place of security and love. Thank you for their support and their sacrifice. Father, it does not go unnoticed or unappreciated. Today, Father, in closing, we stand together as airmen, strong in mind, heart, body, and spirit. Thank you for the gifts and talents that you have blessed the many caregivers as they continue to serve and support their fellow airmen, and those who have served our great nation valiantly in the past. Bless our brothers and sisters who are in harm's way, and keep them safe, and remind them of your constant presence and unfailing love. This we pray in your name. Amen.
Please take your seats. Thank you, Chaplain Letterman, for those inspiring words. As you noticed, today's ceremony will be uniquely executed, as it is vital that we continue to fight the COVID-19 virus by maintaining social distancing. This situation has and will continue to present us with challenges that we will overcome. The change of command ceremony is rooted in the military history dated back to the 18th century. At that time, organizational flags were developed with color arrangements and symbols unique to each particular unit. The flag served as a rallying point and reminder of their allegiance to their leader during battle. To this flag and its commander, military members dedicated their loyalty and trust. When a change of command took place, the flag was passed to the individual assuming command in the presence of the entire unit. All unit members could witness their new leader assume the responsibility and trust associated with the position of commander. He or she who possessed the flag also held the unit member's allegiance. This symbolic tradition has survived throughout military history. Our goal today is to continue the change of command tradition while recognizing the constraints of the unprecedented times we are currently in. At this time, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce the official party. The presiding officer, Colonel Jeffrey Nelson, accompanied by his spouse, Courtney. The outgoing commander, Colonel Kristen Beals, accompanied by her spouse, Colonel Michael Eppinger, United States Air Force retired, her mother, Mrs. Susan Saikon, and her good friend, Miss Julie Lynn. The incoming commander, Colonel Gwendolyn Foster, accompanied by her spouse Robert and children Rowan, Jonathan, Jenna, Alicia, and her mother, Mrs. Hattie Drake. We are also privileged to have with us here today several distinguished guests. Air Force Civic Leader, Mrs. Sandy Person. AMC Civic Leader and Golden Bear, Mr. Mark Lillis. Travis Community Consortium Chair and Golden Bear, Colonel Lynn Augustine, USAF retired. The Director, Northern California Healthcare System, Mr. David Stockwell. The Commander, 349th Air Mobility Wing, Colonel Lee Merkel. Representing the Commander, 621st Contingency Response Wing, Colonel William Wade. The Vice Commander, 60th Air Mobility Wing, Colonel Zachary Jerome, accompanied by his spouse, Kelly. The Command Chief, 60th Air Mobility Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Derek Crowder. The Command Chief, 349th Air Mobility Wing, Chief Master Sergeant James Burmeister. The Honorary Commander, 60th Medical Group, Mrs. Jennifer McWhirter, accompanied by her spouse, Craig. The Commander, 60th Operational Group, Colonel Greg Johnson, accompanied by his spouse, Patricia. The Commander, 60th Maintenance Group, Colonel David Hammerschmidt, accompanied by his spouse, Kimberly. The Commander, 349th Operations Group, Lieutenant Colonel Scott Meyer. The Superintendent, 60th Maintenance Group, Chief Master Sergeant Jeffrey Clark. The Superintendent, 349th Medical Group, Chief Master Sergeant Michelle Ortiz. We would also like to extend a greeting to all members of the 60th Medical Group and members of Team Travis watching today's virtual ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, the presiding officer, Colonel Nelson.
All right, good morning, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. Good morning, especially to the mighty medics of David Grant Medical Center. Welcome to our distinguished visitors, Ms. Sandy Person, Mr. David Stockwell, Mr. Mark Lillis, and Colonel Lynn Augustine. Welcome to all commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, family members, and friends here in attendance today. Is it not on? Test. Now you can hear me. All right, I'll start over. Good morning, Team Travis, and good morning to the mighty medics of David Grant Medical Center. Welcome to all of our distinguished visitors, Ms. Sandy Person, Mr. Stockwell, Mr. Mark Lillis, Colonel Augustine, and welcome to all commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, family members, and friends in attendance today. Welcome to the 60th Medical Group Change of Command Ceremony, and thank you for being with us today. Today we will say a fond farewell to Colonel Kristen Beals and welcome Colonel Gwendolyn Foster. As we take pause this morning from our operational pace to recognize these two great airmen, it is just as important that we acknowledge their families as well. Success in the profession of arms is not possible without the support and sacrifices of loved ones. No airman achieves alone. To Kristen's family, who are geographically separated for most of her command tour, we are grateful for your sacrifice, particularly her husband Mike, a retired Air Force colonel who knows well the long days that come with command. His unwavering love and support was crucial for Kristen's success. Her mother Susan, who has molded Kristen from the start and has been a consistent light and compass in her life, as well as her extended family and friends. We cannot thank her family enough, and the 60th Medical Group is better because of the love and support you have given her. Thank you. To the Foster family, Robert, Rowan, Jonathan, Jenna, Alicia, and Gwen's mother, Hattie, welcome back to Travis. You are trading the Santa Ana winds of Southern California for the cooler Delta breeze of the Bay that you can feel right now. Thank you for your years of support to Gwen and getting her to this point. The support of family is pivotal to a military career, and it is clear that Gwen's family is here in full force. Thank you. Today we celebrate these two leaders seated to my right, but also more importantly the 60th Medical Group. David Grant Medical Center is the largest hospital in the Air Force and the flagship of the Air Force Medical Service. It is staffed with nearly 2,500 personnel serving 368,000 beneficiaries through 60 specialty clinics. In addition to providing quality health care, the 60th MDG encompasses an aeromedical staging facility, multi-platform graduate medical education program, the most enviable Veterans Affairs partnership in the Department of Defense, and they are the greatest medical readiness platform in the Air Force. These capable, highly skilled and motivated medics execute their mission day in and day out, but it takes leadership to put talent in the right positions at the right time. To foster growth, that is what makes a good organization, a great organization. Anyone who knows Kristen is not surprised by DGMC's accomplishments. As the leader of the 2019 AMC Hospital of the Year, she has facilitated the type of growth that keeps DGMC on top. Under her command, the men and women of the 60th Medical Group garnered recognition through 29 Air Force Medical Service level awards. Additionally, the medical group saw a substantial increase in intensive care unit capacity, resulting in 30% more surgical cases. Kristen not only led the implementation of the new $5.5 billion electronic health record system at the 1st Air Force Hospital, but her group also hosted an academy to mentor 75 organizations through their transition. Always ready, DGMC medics answered the call, deploying 396 medics across 5 combatant commands while ensuring 780 flyers were ready to project global mobility. And most recently, in the challenges of the national coronavirus pandemic, Kristen quickly postured the group for contingency operations, creating 9 lines of effort to ensure the health protection of our 26,000 airmen and families. Kristen, you have been a servant to your airmen. The 60th Medical Group has thrived under your command, and we thank you for your leadership while getting the mission done, developing airmen and fostering a culture of excellence. Courtney and I wish you, Mike, Sally, and Charlie the very best as you transition back to Texas and continued service in Joint Base San Antonio. As we say farewell to one great leader, there is always another great leader ready to step up and take the reins. And Colonel Beals could not be leaving the 60th Medical Group in more capable hands. Colonel Foster is joining us from the high desert of Edwards Air Force Base. There, as the 412th Medical Group Commander, she expertly supported the Test Wing, Air Force Research Laboratory, NASA, and over 31 associate units from 2 geographic locations. I know that experience will serve her well here at Travis. Gwen was born and raised in Springfield, Illinois, and learned discipline and work ethic from her parents Leroy and Hattie. Inspired by her father's service in Vietnam, she joined the Army at age 17. She met Robert in Army Tech School, and they have been happily married for 30 years. Luckily for us, after 8 years of Army National Guard and Reserve service, she separated, completed nursing school, and decided to enter the Air Force as a nurse in 2001. As a child, Gwen always knew she wanted to catch babies, so with her education in midwifery, she passionately practiced in Air Force clinics from Japan to Virginia, and even our very own Travis OBGYN clinic. While her accolades are too numerous to mention here, you can rest assured that Colonel Foster will continue the culture of excellence, the care for our airmen, and be prepared for whatever mission comes our way. Gwen, very shortly you will be handed the guidon of Air Mobility Command's and the Air Force Medical Services Premier Medical Group. The task ahead is certainly a large one. The 60th Medical Group faces the challenge of supporting the largest wing in Air Mobility Command, and I cannot think of a better airman to take the reins. Exceptional leadership is essential to safe and successful mission execution in this dynamic environment, and I'm delighted to pass the 60th Medical Group guidon to Colonel Foster. I look forward to seeing the 60th Medical Group flourish under your leadership. To the members of the 60th Medical Group, thank you for continuing to allow the 60th Air Mobility Wing to constantly prove there truly are no bounds. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Nelson. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Colonel Nelson will now present Colonel Beals with the Legion of Merit. Attention to orders. To all who shall see these presents, greeting. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America, authorized by Act of Congress, July 20 of 1942, has awarded the Legion of Merit to Colonel Kristen J. Beals for exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 60th Medical Group, 60th Air Mobility Wing, Travis Air Force Base, California, from 1 July 2018 to 8 July 2020. During this time, Colonel Beals oversaw the United States Air Force's largest medical center, leading 2,500 personnel with an annual budget of $165 million and serving 276,000 eligible beneficiaries. She drove substantial growth in intensive care unit capability, resulting in a 30% increase in surgical cases and 47 inpatient census increase. In addition, her warfighting vision was critical to bolstering the medical center's role as medical readiness platform, filling 978 positions and deploying 396 medics to 5 combatant commands. Through Colonel Beals' steadfast leadership and ceaseless effort, her airmen successfully launched the $5.5 billion electronic health record and integrated system shared across all Department of Defense and Veteran Affairs sites. Further, under her guidance, during this transition, training was improved significantly, potential risks were identified and mitigated, and clinical operations returned to full capacity in 4 months, a timeline unmatched by any other transitioning medical facility. Subsequently, her organizational leadership skill set led to her selection as the host for inaugural Genesis Academy, where she mentored 75 tri-service commanders preparing to launch the new health record system, ensuring success across the entire Defense Health Agency. Additionally, when faced with the national coronavirus emergency, Colonel Beals quickly postured the medical group for contingency operations, creating 9 lines of effort and ensuring health protection for over 26,000 installation-assigned personnel and family members. Lastly, Her superior focus on quality and safety resulted in the 60th Medical Group being recognized as the 2018 and 2019 AMC Hospital of the Year and Air Force's Best Inpatient Safety Program, while earning a critical 3-year accreditation by the Joint Commission. The superior initiative, outstanding leadership, and personal endeavor displayed by Colonel Beals reflect great credit upon herself and the United States Air Force. Thank you, Colonel Nelson. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Colonel Beals, all of us here thank you for your tireless dedication to the medical group. Ladies and gentlemen, the 60th Medical Group Commander, Colonel Beals.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Great. What a beautiful day at Travis Air Force Base. Thank you all so much for joining us during these times and taking time out of your schedule to share this and greet Colonel Gwendolyn Foster, who is absolutely, as Colonel Nelson mentioned, the perfect commander to take command of our amazing flagship hospital. Thank you to the Change of Command planning team, Seniorman Jones, well done, Master Sergeant Scully, Captain Morrow, Lieutenant Trish, thank you so much. We've had so many changes. We've been planning this for months, and it seemed even this morning there were changes, so well done. Thank you very, very much. Thanks to Chaplain Leatherman. You've been our medical group chaplain, and you've always inspired us, and you managed to touch the hearts of our airmen and our medics every time you speak, so thank you for the kind words of encouragement. Thank you first to my husband, Michael, who's my rock and supported me through all of my moves when we were together and now that we've been separated 2 years. Your unwavering support. Unfortunately, I usually called you with my biggest challenges and biggest concerns, and you helped navigate and discuss and advise. You're my best friend. You're my biggest fan. And I love you very much. I am a better leader with you by my side. Thank you, honey. Thank you to my mother, Susan Sycon, who is always at the ready also to advise and guide when I really need sound judgment. Mom sees things like no other person and just so wise with all of your experience. This was supposed to be a 4-year career in the Air Force. I started out here at David Grant Medical Center as represented by the chair in the middle of the stage. I did my general surgery residency here when it was just beginning to be a combined UC Davis military program. I was one of the first female graduates from that program, and all you get for all those hours of work for 5 years is a chair. So I thought it was just appropriate to honor our graduate military medical education programs and thank Colonel Heidi Gaddy and all the Phase 2 enlisted programs. But I am a product of military education. I think it's very important we keep that tradition going. So Mom, thank you for supporting me all that time. Thank you to my brother, John Sycon, and his husband, Glenn Burnham, who finally made it out to see me in one of the nicest places in CONUS after the stop movement was lifted. They finally got a flight out here to see me. Thank you so much. I know you're watching from Houston. Thanks. I love you guys. And thank you to my sister, Marion, and her family, who have always been at the ready to support as well. But Colonel Nelson, it has been an honor. Thank you for your balanced leadership, your commitment to including all of the groups in the wing, and learning about this large medical center with its vast resources and what we bring to the fight and to the operational medicine and to the wing. So thank you for your leadership. Along with Chief Crowder, you really taught us how to be a successful command team, and you led the example, both of you together, that we all emulated, and that goes along, that really reflects in our 7 squadrons here at the Med Group. They took your example with immersing and learning all of the squadron's duties. And thank you to my 7 amazing, high-performing squadron commanders and superintendents and first sergeants. Okay, there it is. Because you're really the ones that took care of the business and the mission every day. You took care of our airmen. You advocated at the table. You brought their needs to me, and we were able to make good, sound decisions that benefited our airmen and made us the high-performing organization that the Air Force and the Air Mobility Wing needs us to be. So thank you to my squadron commanders. And suits and shirts. Tireless efforts. Thank you to my fellow group commanders, Vic, Greg, before Greg, Teresa, and Hammer, and Kim, Delana, Pat, Patricia. Thank you for everything you've done for me to support. I couldn't have had better advisors, mentors. Thank you for teaching me more about mobility operations so that we could better support you and trusting us to take care of what you needed. And thanks to Colonel Jerome and Kelly and the neighborhood. Thanks for the flamingos in the hood. All of the neighbors got together for parties, and you really helped support me when Mike was not around. So thank you for bringing me in. Thank you to Chief Davis, my prior group superintendent, but I really want to thank sincerely Colonel Chanel Malner. Chief Malner came in a year ago from Lake and Heath, and she and I clicked immediately. I understood immediately she was out and about advocating, learning about the group and learning about the people and learning about their needs. And she is one of the soundest, sage advisors I've ever had. She is my best partner and teammate, and I couldn't have done this without you, Chief. You're the best. And I have to also thank, nobody runs this group by themselves. It's too big and too massive. And Colonel Laura Bow and Tony, I know you're watching from Shaw as she took command of the 20th Medical Group at Shaw. She was my deputy group commander. She was always available, tirelessly taking care of business inside the four walls so I could take care of business and work on our external partnerships. She is just an absolute phenomenal leader, and I miss her very much, and we're going to definitely watch her rise and shine in the Air Force Medical Service in the future. Thank you to our past honorary commander, Candy Pierce, and our current honorary commander, Jen McWhirter, who's here. Thank you for that program, and thank you for being interested in supporting the medical group out in the community, so welcome. We are better together, and we are more powerful and a better readiness platform for the Air Force and DHA with our external partners. And I want to thank Mr. Stockwell, the director of VA Northern California Health System. We are one of the strongest and most robust VA DoD partnerships and joint ventures. We have been touted as one of the most successful, and it's all thanks to you, Mr. Stockwell, for always being ready at the table, always being communicative, and all of the teammates at your facility, especially Dave Johnson, Laura Kelly, Scott Hundahl, I have to mention, that's retired. Thank you for your partnership. We also have North Bay Healthcare System and Kaiser Permanente, and also UC Davis Health, which too numerous to name, of those partners that get our patients in their doors and take care of our patients, as well as take care of our medics and getting them the readiness and currency opportunities that they need to go downrange and take care of wounded warriors. Today really is about celebrating all of these accomplishments that the men and women of the 60th Medical Group have done. My vision when I first took command for this medical group was simple: to be the most influential, relevant, and respected military hospital in the enterprise. That's Tri-Service. And I think I'm gonna read off a few things, our history here. 2 years in 2 minutes, and you'll see, I'll ask you at the end if we met that influential, relevant, and respected vision. And Winston Churchill said, continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. And we have had continuous effort. Has it been a ride or what over the last 2 years? We started in the fall of 18 with hurricane response. We sent medics out the door with the contingency response wing and the OG. So we put Humvees and medical equipment and people on aircraft and flew it out for hurricane response. We then were standing ready to support the campfire, and we supported the defenders and the maintainers and firefighters who needed respiratory masks to work outside in the poor smoke. The air quality was so bad we had to deploy masks. Little did we know that would foreshadow what would come with coronavirus. Then we began working on preparing for Genesis, and that was more than we expected, and it was under-resourced, and our people stood up and were the most successful launch of that electronic health record due to the blood, sweat, and tears of our folks for that transition. In March of 19, we did Thunder Over the Bay Air Show. We did medical support for that. We got high accolades from Colonel Nelson, wing leadership in the Air Force Thunderbirds. And then we decided that wasn't enough, that we needed to ask Joint Commission to do our accreditation early before we adopted Genesis, because we knew we did not want to be distracted from both of those. So we asked Joint Commission to come early, and we aced that 3-year accreditation with flying colors, thanks to the grit and determination of our people to show that we can provide safe patient care while we're learning a new electronic health record. And then there was Genesis. September 7th, 2019, I think will live in infamy for the 60th Medical Group and the Wave Travis sites, which is what they were renamed because we were the largest facility and the most successful. We have then since been mentors and leaders to help other people take on that electronic health record. We stood ready to support the HHS, so the DHHS, when they brought in the American citizens from Wuhan, China, and then the cruise ship passengers, and then coronavirus hit home when we had the first community spread coronavirus in our county in the States. And that was something that our North Bay, Kaiser, and VA partnerships really flourished during that time. We were able to call each other up and have weekly TCONs to see how are you doing it there? Can we borrow best practices? And we really, our installation was protected and supported thanks to those partnerships. So an African proverb that I like to quote says, "Smooth seas do not make skillful sailors." And we have had a rough sea and we have weathered the perfect storm. That is 2 years of up and down. Just as we were coming out of Genesis, we got coronavirus, but we are now in recovery and our people are ready to deliver healthcare, to deploy downrange. Our redeployers are back finally after an extended tour. And I ask that my charge for the men and women of the 60th Medical Group is, first, I ask you to embrace Colonel Foster like you have embraced me. Gwen and I met in a meeting in Lackland when she was in the 559th Medical Group as a squadron commander, and I was so impressed by her calm leadership, her ability to take up complex issues and break them down and advise her people and get them all behind a single vision. And she's asked me this a couple of times, and I have to say she asked me, "Why me?" And I said, "Is that why me with like an emoji tear, or why me like yeah, why me?" So Gwen, you are an incredible, compassionate leader that advocates for your people, cares about your people, holds people accountable, and gets things done. And I cherish our friendship and our relationship, and you are absolutely the right leader for this group. You're going to love her. Second, I ask the Med Group to take care of our patients. Open your minds to new and creative ways to get them healthcare delivered, not in person, but by telephone and virtual. I think this is our time to reinvent the wheel and reinvent ourselves under this coronavirus recovery operations. Next, I want you to not be afraid to try new things. I think I've been a commander that is willing to take risk, and I ask that you continue to have those good ideas, bring them to your squadrons and Colonel Foster, and she is ready and willing to make things better and innovate on behalf of our patients and our staff. Lastly, never lose your focus on readiness. I know during this time we can get hung up on a lot of the healthcare delivery, a lot of the coronavirus, but please don't lose your focus, don't lose your edge. We are here and we are wearing the uniform, and we are proud that at a moment's notice we can be called for any one of these contingency responses, and we will be called, and we need to be ready, and that's what we do best. Despite all this change, some things have not changed, and that is our commitment to the 60th Air Mobility Wing, commitment to Air Mobility Command to be the best medical group and provide the best operational support, and also to our patients and our partners. So none of that will change. In General Goldfein's leadership expectations and Chief Wright's leadership expectations document, he quoted General John P. Jumper, the 17th Chief of Staff of the Air Force, and said, "It is a distinct honor to be chosen to command in the United States Air Force. Your job every day is to be worthy of that honor." I think you'll see that we have earned the vision of influential, relevant, and respected. And I am humbled to have served as your commander, and it has been the honor of a lifetime. And I hope I have earned your trust. I'll cherish our time together and now offer my final thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Bills. At this time, on behalf of the men and women of the 60th Medical Group, the Commander, 60th Aerospace Squadron, Colonel Justin Nass, will render a final salute to the outgoing commander. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the change of command ceremony. Attention to orders. Special Order G-20-026, dated 2 July 2020, Colonel Gwendolyn Foster is appointed Commander, 60th Medical Group, Travis Air Force Base, California, effective 8 July 2020, under authority of Air Force Instruction 51-604.
Sir, I relinquish command. Sir, I resume command.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. On behalf of Colonel Nelson, it is my pleasure to introduce the commander of the 60th Medical Group, Colonel Foster.
All right. Good morning. It is an honor to stand before you today. Distinguished guests, Team Travis, family and friends, another thank you for attending. It truly means a lot to me, my family, and it's really nice to see some familiar faces from previous assignments, especially since my first time here at Travis. A special thanks to Mess Sergeant Scully, team, as well as Chaplain Leatherman. Everyone has made this special occasion perfect, even with the pandemic. I thank God and my family, for without either, I would not be where I am today. Robert, kids, mom, this journey is not about me and my career. It is about us as a family, and we are in this together. Colonel Nelson, thank you for the opportunity to lead the 60th Medical Group. Every day, I will give everything I got to show Team Travis and the community that you made the right decision. Colonel Bills, thank you for taking time out for me and my family. You made this transition as smooth as possible. You were my worthy nemesis and my friend and mentor who played a part in where I am today. So thank you. Also, thank you for sharing the legacy of the 60th Medical Group, driving home what they do each and every day for this great Air Force. I could not ask for a better handoff. Last but definitely not least, to the men and women of the 60th Medical Group. It is not lost upon me that everything going around us, we are experiencing a pivotal moment in our history. So over the next 2 years, I look forward to this opportunity to work for you, to lead and inspire you, to be the best airmen, the best ready medics, the best you, for there are no bounds in what you have done, what you are doing, and what you will do to support our nation's call. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Foster. We look forward to your leadership and guidance. At this time, on behalf of the men and women of the 60th Medical Group, the Commander, 60th Aerospace Medicine Squadron, Colonel Justin Nass, will render a first salute to the new commander. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. Give her the gun. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our change of command ceremony. We thank you for joining us and hope you have a wonderful day.